Hey everybody, it is Kellen Nitro for Nitro Maniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited, coming at you with a Nitro take that's a little delayed because it kind of reverts back to an event that happened last weekend going into this weekend, but timing and such and whatever. WWE Extreme Rules, the horror show, took place on July 19th, 2020, again from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Did not get a chance to watch the pre-show for this pay-per-view. Saw that it was a Kevin Owens Buddy Murphy match essentially, and what was the result there? Owens defeated Murphy in 8:55. So there you go. You know, wasn't really keen on watching the pay-per-view that weekend. A lot of stuff was happening. Impact Slammiversary actually had my full attention, and I devoted a lot of time talking about that event and working on a review, which is on this channel, of that event. Just look back through the past history and everything on here. Extreme Rules, the horror show, and in the aftermath of that, I'm recording this on July 24th, which is Friday for SmackDown. Did not bother watching Raw or NXT at all this week. Just the product right now is very not watchable. It's not. There's nothing that they're doing that is keeping you enthralled. As much as, say, a New Japan is right now, as much as Impact has done, and as much as AEW has continued to do on both Dark and on Dynamite each week. So I'll go through the notes that I have. They are extremely limited off of this for the show, and give a rating of the show at the end, but this will be kind of an express version of a Nitro's take here. Nitro's take quickie, if you will, for Extreme Rules, the horror show. But I'm one of those that think that WWE has some major problems right now with their creative and everything, and it almost feels like they should definitely look at, after SummerSlam, maybe an off-season type thing for about a month or two to kind of rejig things before going into the fall. I did like the opening video for this pay-per-view, though. I thought it was really awesome, a really nice opening video. Really well put together, kind of that grindhouse horror show Saw theme to it, which is really cool. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, almost like Rob Zombie directed it. It kind of had that feel to it. It was pretty cool. And then the opening contest of the pay-per-view was the tables match for the SmackDown tag titles, which is a match I really liked. New Day taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. New Day were the tag champs going into this. I put down, I should be more excited for this than I am. No, this was... I got excited during this match. It was good. This was the match that was supposed to end in a fan vote, but the fan vote was split. Yes, Dollar General and Snickers customers in the States were voting for a match stipulation to take place during this card, and this ended up being the match where the stipulation would take place. It kind of went down to between a steel cage and a tables match, and then they ran a match between Cesaro and I think Big E the week before on SmackDown, and Cesaro won, so he got to pick the stipulation, and they took tables. So there you go. Probably because fitting a steel cage in the Performance Center might might not be a good thing right now. I don't know. So finish for this match was Kofi trying to snap off a Hurricane Rana through to the double tables, but Cesaro puts a quell on it. An assisted powerbomb through the double tables by Cesaro, and Nakamura gets them the 1-2-3. And the runtime for that is 10:25. And again, I thought that was a solid opener, really good. Post-match, Cesaro and Nakamura say that actions speak louder than words. They are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And Bayley versus Nikki Cross for a SmackDown Women's title. There was a really charming segment before the match with Alexa motivating Nikki with the Kabuki Warriors. Very hilarious, very cute. The finish for this match, of course, Nikki was in control for much of this match, but Sasha hands Bayley the Boss Nux, the one that says Boss Time. It's got the Nux. And Bayley hits Nikki for the 1-2-3. Classic heel thing. The manager froze the client, the brass knucks, to get the win over the face that's making a valiant charge. So 12-20, very serviceable match. Right after that, we had a Firefly Funhouse segment, which I dubbed the Halloween special because it kind of had that Halloween special vibe to it. Very amazing, very funny. Apollo Crews was due to defend a U.S. title versus MVP, but was not cleared. MVP comes out and claims he is the new U.S. champ. I would assume that on Raw had more to it. Again, didn't watch Raw, so it's not really a storyline that I was interested in to begin with. And then came the match that this pay-per-view will be known for a long time. The eye for an eye stipulation between Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio. Basically a hardcore rules match. Why is Mysterio dressed as a banana? Who knows? But if it's a hardcore rules match, why not have it just an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules? It would fit. You had these guys in doing an Extreme Rules match. I think that it would have probably, and just have Rollins and his thugs lay out Mysterio and potentially Dominic in the ring. It would have had more of an effect, or a better effect, than the match off of this one, or than the what the match gave us. Falcon Arrow by Rollins on Mysterio on the apron. Match itself would have been a great Extreme Rules match. The added steps really took away from it. Yes, exactly. Match did do one thing, though. It did reestablish Rollins as a main upper card heel. He's lost some heat recently, yes. Mysterio drop toe holds Rollins into the point of the desk. Mysterio then tries to take out Rollins' eye on the steps. A low blow by Rollins allows Rollins to drive Mysterio's eyes into the steps and get the win. Post-match, Rey is helped out, and the WWE PC trainees start a shame chant on Rollins because they did the gross thing with the fake eye, and the fake eye kind of pulling a Vader and popping right out, just, it's probably going to be, because of it, the worst match of the year, unfortunately, but it'll be up for a gooker. But the WrestleCrap guys, I was not a fan of the entire creative going into this, and I became less of a fan afterwards. Again, not seeing what happened on Raw this week, so I can't tell if they've added anything, or if they've terminated that storyline at that point, or whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised if they added to it. I wouldn't be surprised if they've terminated it immediately right after. But those who are more hardcore than I, put in the comments below, what am I missing? What it is? What do I need to look at it from a different light? Pardon the pun. And see what happens. So get a cool video package hyping the swamp fight for the Universal Championship later on. WWE Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Asuka with Kairi Sane in her corner. Kairi starting her final weekend with the company, which it was. I saw that she got a win over Bayley on Monday Night Raw, so good for her. Early Banks statement attempt. Asuka gets the ropes. The match made Sasha look strong, big time, which is awesome. That's kind of one of their top heel teams right now across the entire company is Bayley and Sasha. Asuka tries to miss Sasha, but nails the ref instead. Allows Sasha to hit the backstabber and give Sasha the 1-2 free count for the Women's Championship, but it wasn't the ref that counted it down. It was Bayley in a referee's shirt that counted it down as a quote-unquote substitute guest referee. I did see on social media that they played up a thing with Stephanie McMahon basically negating the whole decision. So this coming week on Monday Night Raw, we'll have Asuka versus Sasha, winner take all for the Women's Championship. So that will be the definitive result right there. And I would think that that's probably the main event for Monday night coming up. And you know what? That will be a match I'm looking forward to see. I'm looking forward to see what happens off of that. Just because this program here with the women on both sides have actually been one of the brighter spots in the company going forward. I thought that the underdog Nikki Cross thing was pretty cool, and here this is obviously controversy reigns. So we'll see what happens after Monday for sure. So I guess the title is quote-unquote vacant at this time, but it won't be for very long. Runtime for that one was 20 minutes, and it easily is the match of the night, in my opinion. The next contest, Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler for the Universal title. The stipulations made my head hurt and kind of added to the snooziness of this match. I thought it was very boring. The Extreme Rules stipulation applied to Dolph Ziggler, so Dolph made the stipulation that only he could wrestle under Extreme Rules. McIntyre had to wrestle under normal singles match rules. Furthermore, had McIntyre gotten disqualified or counted out, Ziggler would have won the championship. The presentation itself that made it very disjointed. I thought. I said retains in the snoozer. Sorry, not sorry. But Mac will be, it's the summer months. If there's going to be a title change, it might be to Randy Orton at SummerSlam, just because Orton is red hot right now, and that might be who they go with. So, that's the thing. If there is one, even. Right now, I think Drew and Randy could have a real banger of a match, because this is the best that Randy Orton has looked in the ring in a long time, and 2020 will actually go down as a career year for Randy because of the Edge stuff and the stuff now, actually getting really workable matches with the Big Show, and so on and so forth. And if he gets a title shot against Drew McIntyre at a Survivor Series or a SummerSlam or something like that, I think that's a feather in the cap for all of the hard work he's done this year. So this is really good. 2020 is Orton's year, man. 18 minutes main event, the Wyatt Swamp Fight. Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. The previous match was for the WWE Championship. I said Universal. My bad. This was another cinematic. Not the best cinematic either. They seem to have, quote-unquote, blown their load during the WrestleMania weekend with the two cinematics that they ran during that. And with how well received they were, they figured that was a direction that they should have moved towards. Now we're seeing a little bit of a point where everybody's kind of burnt out on that, and that there is better creative and better wrestling on television right now, even under the circumstances. And what WWE is giving us is kind of lackluster. So I don't have any ill will or preconceived notions about that. It's just you watch it, it's not as good as other companies right now, which is Slammiversary proved it, that they didn't do anything over the top amazing on Slammiversary, but still brought in a ton of talents that we haven't seen in a long time, and the surprise factor, like who will show up next, really was an attraction factor for it. And it continued on Tuesday on Impact as well. Wednesday with AEW, we seen, kind of a continuation of all the momentum they did. I mean, hell, they almost cracked 1 million on their rating this week. So, you can't win. My final rating for Extreme Rules Horror Show, I have it down as a 6.5 out of 10. I thought both of the women's matches and the tag match were really good. I thought the Rollins Mysterio match prior to the ending of it was really interesting and really unique. It should have been kept as just a straight Extreme Rules match, would have been fine. The eye for an eye stipulation, really hokey. Obviously, nobody really lost an eye there. Man, it was a thing. And this was supposed to be in San Jose this year, but of course coronavirus and that stuff, nobody's doing nothing. So who knows? That's the whole deal. But anyways, later days, happy wrestling watching. We'll talk to you next time on Nitro Maniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. I'm Kellen Nitro. Sorry about the delay in getting this up, but it's up now, so you guys can share, like the video. Put your comments below. I kind of want to, combine this with like a vlog, asking what's wrong with WWE right now. What do you think the factors are that are leading to this just real, just lackluster product? Obviously, is it just down to coronavirus itself and bigger news stories happening with the Black Lives Matter, coronavirus, sports restarting, etc., whatever? Or is it a creative issue with WWE? Is it just, burnout? Should they have done an off season? Should they be in an off season right now? Should they be looking at going into an off season right now? Who knows, right? Put them below. Let me hear what you got. All right, later, guys.